First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
Good evening and welcome to First at 5 from WUFT News. I'm Ashley Weinstein.
And I'm Jake Reyes. Thank you for joining us.
Just before the show, we found out Jalen Kaitlyn is in the process of being released from jail on $80,000 bond. Kaitlyn made his first appearance in court today after his arrest from possession and distribution of child pornography.
Our very own Julia Coyne of Fresh Take Florida started to follow this case as soon as the news broke, and she's here now to give us the latest. Julia?
Thanks, Jake and Ashley. We have new details about the criminal case against Kaitlyn. We should warn you, what you're about to hear may be disturbing. The case began in June, months before the Gators football season even started. Police received a tip about an internet account traced to Kaitlyn. It shared 2 images of what police say depicted underage pubescent girls in sexual positions. In court, Kaitlyn appeared in a dark green jail gown that officials say signifies an inmate on suicide watch. His pastor, mother, and former NFL player father, John Kaitlyn, sat quietly in the courtroom. Kaitlyn's lawyer, Caleb Kenyon, said it was difficult to tell if the people in the images were 13 or 19. He says one image appeared to show a person kissing another on the cheek while cupping her breast. Kenyon urged the judge to release Kaitlyn without having to post any bond because he says no one was directly victimized by the alleged conduct. However, court records included chat transcripts that police say reflected Kaitlyn and another unidentified internet user discussing pornographic images. Alachua County Court Judge Meshan T. Rawls set Kaitlyn's bail amount at $80,000, and he was ordered the player not to use the internet and have no unsupervised contact with minors. If convicted on all charges, Kaitlyn faces up to 45 years in prison and $35,000 in fines. For more on this case, keep checking with WUFT.org. That's all for now. Back to you, Ashley.
Thank you, Julia. More updates on Monday's fatal hit and run. The Gainesville Police Department and Alachua County Sheriff's Office located the vehicle wanted for the accident. Early Monday morning, GPD responded to a vehicle versus bike crash on South Main Street. A body was found in the wooded area near the debris, where first responders pronounced the bicyclist dead on the scene. Investigators are still collecting evidence for the criminal case and did not make an arrest last night.
There's been so much going on in our area lately, and that includes the weather. Our very own Derrah Getter is here now to tell us if things are getting any better. Derrah?
Sitting to the north of us is an area of high pressure, which is bringing us the drier conditions and cooler temperatures that we've experienced today. Also, which is why we've seen less clouds in the sky this morning and the afternoon. Sky's looking a bit different right now with more clouds, partly cloudy with temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. Over the next couple of hours, we're going to be cooling down about 10 degrees into the low 50s tonight. I'll have more on that as well as your weekend outlook in my full forecast coming up. Back to you.
Thanks, Derrah. Tonight marks a special holiday celebration in the Gainesville community. WUFT's Mariana Larsen is at the annual lighting of the Holiday Gator. Mariana, how's it going out there?
I'm here next to Century Tower where the lighting of the Holiday Gator is currently taking place. Now, although the Gator will not be lit up until the sun goes down, students and community members are still celebrating holiday festivities, including live music and holiday treats. Now, right now, I am joined by UF President Kent Fox. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, it's a real privilege to be here and to see more than 1,000 students, faculty, staff, and community members, and young children celebrating the start of the holidays.
Now, I am told that you were the one who started this tradition. How does it feel to see it take off since its beginning?
You know, the turnout is incredible, and it's just so much fun as we're working hard to finish the semester to celebrate the start of the holidays, and particularly to see a piece of art that was designed by UF grad Leslie Tharp, the Holiday Gator, get lit up.
Absolutely, and it is your last year here at UF as president. How does it feel to celebrate one last tradition with the UF community?
The part of the traditions are part of what makes the university so wonderful, whether it's singing Tom Petty or the Gator Chomp, and now the Holiday Gator being lit to celebrate the holidays. It really is fun to be a part of the Gator community.
Absolutely, and thank you again for joining us. Now, if you weren't able to come out to the event tonight, the Gator will be lit up for the rest of the semester. Reporting from the University of Florida, I'm Mariana Larsen, WUFT News. Back to you.
Thanks, Mariana. It's almost time for Gainesville's annual Holiday Lights celebration. Attendees will gather on the lawn at the historic Thomas Center this Saturday beginning at 6 p.m. That's when the holiday lights in the garden will illuminate for spectators. The celebration will also feature caroling, holiday characters, and refreshments. Inside the Thomas Center, attendees can view and take selfies with the giant holiday tree. Visitors can also take a stroll along the surrounding neighborhood to view luminaries set up along the streets by the Duck Pond Neighborhood Association. The event is free and open to the public. If you're planning on checking out any of these holiday lights, you're going to want to know what the weather looks like. Derrah will be back with her full forecast after the break.
But first, some of our state elected officials are getting ready to spill their guts, metaphorically speaking. We'll tell you what that could mean after the break.
You're watching WUFT TV News.
Welcome back. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis will release a book early next year amid speculation he could be gearing up for a 2024 presidential campaign. A person familiar with the matter says the autobiography is set to be released on February 28th and will be titled The Courage to Be Free, Florida's Blueprint for America's Revival. DeSantis's popularity surged within the Republican Party during the pandemic as he charted a response in Florida that rejected lockdown restrictions and vaccine mandates. His landslide re-election victory this month further cemented his status as a potentially serious competitor for the Republican presidential nomination. The autobiography comes as several other potential 2024 Republican hopefuls have rolled out new books in recent months. One of those hopefuls is said to be Senator Marco Rubio. The Hill reports that his book, Decades of Decadence, will be out later on June 13th.
A 10-year-old Palm City girl stunning her surgeon, family, and friends alike with her calm nature after fending off a shark during an encounter at Hobe Sound Beach. WPTV's Ashley Glass reports from Jupiter Island.
Make no mistake,
I'm fine.
10-year-old Jasmine Carney is one brave, cool kid.
I fought a shark and won.
You heard that right. Just 48 hours ago, a shark coming right at Jasmine at Hobe Sound Beach.
What did you see? What did you hear?
Something grabbed me, so I'm like, don't you touch me. It looked pretty big, and it was gray. It hurt, so I'm like, kick it, run away.
She's just cool. I was amazed. She came running up that beach, screaming, Nana, Nana, something bit me, something bit me. And I saw all the blood. I went and got a lifeguard.
Jasmine flying by chopper to Palm Beach Children's Hospital at St. Mary's.
Shark bite coming over.
Stunning her surgeon.
Well, she was very positive from the get-go.
Why? Shark, why?
A little girl so collected, even with a badly beat up foot.
There's a piece missing. It's about this big. Luckily for her, this was the only location that she was bitten.
We asked young Jasmine how she's managing to keep calm all this time.
This is kind of my favorite one.
Busting out her camera roll. To answer that, she'd like everyone to meet her 6-year-old brother, Jackson.
He's pretty curious, so I might as well stay calm because I know he wouldn't want me to be scared because he's the best little brother in the world.
Better add another attribute. That's one sweet sibling, brave and cool kid.
Hi.
Amazing comeback, Shark Girl. And speaking of comeback stories, the Orion spacecraft is beginning its trip back to Earth on Thursday. As of Wednesday afternoon, Orion was over 253,000 miles from Earth and nearly 51,000 miles from the moon, moving at over 2,000 miles per hour. The spacecraft, which launched from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida on November 16th, is part of NASA's historic Artemis 1 mission. The goal of the mission is to test whether Orion can safely carry humans and aims to get astronauts back on the moon's surface for the first time in 50 years. Earlier this week, Orion hit 270,000 miles from Earth, shattering a previous record for the furthest distance ever reached by a spacecraft designed to carry humans.
Okay, but that's cool and all, but I want to know what the skies are going to look like a little bit closer to us. Derrah, what are we in for?
Well, this evening we're going to be cooling down into the low 50s, and you might run into some patchy fog tomorrow morning. I'll have more on that as well as your weekend forecast coming up after the break.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
It's feeling a bit cooler out so far. The highest temperature we've seen in Gainesville right at 70 degrees with temperatures in the mid to upper 60s near the Panhandle. In the past 24 hours, we've seen almost a 20-degree drop in temperature in North Florida, minus 17 in Gainesville, and upwards of minus 20 near Tallahassee. Outside on your campus cam, mostly cloudy skies. It feels like 66 out, and those wind speeds are starting to slow down. The highest wind speed we've seen today, 24 miles per hour in Gainesville. Right now, we're sitting at 17, so not a huge difference. Over the next couple of hours, we're going to be cooling down into the low 50s tonight. Your overnight low in Gainesville, 53, 40s to the north, and as we head further south, warming up to the mid to upper 50s near Central Florida. Tomorrow, you're going to be waking up to some sunshine and a light breeze in the afternoon. We're going to be cooling down tomorrow night into the mid 50s, 56 in Gainesville Friday night. This weekend, you're going to be waking up to temperatures in the 60s, and on Saturday, your daytime high almost 80 degrees. On Sunday, you're going to be waking up in the mid 60s with temperatures nearing 80 degrees on Sunday as well. Over the next couple of days, we're going to be seeing temperatures in the 80s this weekend, but we'll be warming back down into the upper 70s next week. Back to you.
Thanks, Derrah. I heard there's more news in the Gator football program this time regarding the transfer portal.
Kaitlyn, are more Florida players leaving?
Yes, as of now, 2 more Gator football players have announced they plan to enter the transfer portal, and 1 is entering the NFL draft. I'll tell you all about them after the break.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Welcome to sports. I'm Kaitlyn Wadulack. The Gators women's basketball team is now 7-1 on the season after defeating the Prairie View A&M Panthers yesterday, 68-53. The Panthers clawed their way into the Gators' lead during the third quarter, making it a 44-43 game after a 14-0 Prairie View run. Florida's fourth quarter efforts, though, pushed the Gators past the Panthers on an 18-7 scoring effort. 3 Gators dominated the court offensively in the game. KK Deans and Nina Rickards each recorded 16 points against the Panthers, and Alberte Rimdahl registered 14 points of her own. Up next, Florida travels to Ohio to take on the Dayton Flyers Sunday. The Gators men's basketball team was also victorious last night, dominating Florida A&M in the O'Connell Center 102-62. Trey Bonham led Florida's offensive efforts, scoring a team-high 23 points on a perfect 7-for-7 shooting performance in the game from the three-point line. Head coach Todd Golden said the thing he was most proud of was the team's effort in the game.
The thing that I'm most proud of the effort tonight, we obviously shot the ball really well. Some guys, filled it up, but I thought we competed well. I thought we executed well, and we played hard for 40 minutes. We didn't have any momentary lapses or times where I thought our competitive energy wasn't where it needed to be. So something I think we can build off of and hopefully continue to use this as a building block for our game against Stetson on Sunday.
The Gators are back in the O-Dome Sunday afternoon going up against Stetson. Tip-off is set for 2 p.m. Postseason action kicks off for the 12th-ranked Gators volleyball squad tomorrow night in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Florida is hosting the first and second rounds of the tournament, earning the number 3 seed in the top right portion of the bracket. The Gators will play Florida A&M tomorrow night after number 6 Iowa State and Florida Gulf Coast match. Florida holds a 12-0 series advantage against the Rattlers, including an undefeated 5-0 record in NCAA tournament play. First serve for the Gators tomorrow is scheduled for 7 p.m. 'Tis the season for the transfer portal as 2 more Gator football players plan to leave the team. Running back Lorenzo Lingard and wide receiver Dejon Reynolds both announced they will be entering the transfer portal. Lingard announced his decision on Twitter this morning, and Reynolds posted his transfer news on Instagram last night. Also, wide receiver Justin Shorter is entering the 2023 NFL Draft. He accepted an invitation to the East-West Shrine Bowl and will not be playing in the Gators Bowl game. We have more Friday Night Lights excitement tomorrow as the high school football playoffs continue. In the Class 1R state semifinals, Hawthorne hosts Blountstown and Union County travels to go up against Northview. Both Hawthorne and Union County are coming off of wins last Friday. The Hornets are undefeated this season with their most recent victory against Pahokee 21-20. Union County is 8-2 and are on a 4-game winning streak after a dominating 41-6 win over Lafayette. Hawthorne will play at home at 7:30 p.m. while the Tigers kick off at 7. On the ice, the Tampa Bay Lightning conclude their road trip tonight in Philadelphia against the Flyers. The Bolts are coming off a 3-1 loss to the Boston Bruins Tuesday night. Captain Steven Stamkos scored the Lightning's only goal of the night in the second period, assisted by Nikita Kucherov and Braden Point. Stamkos currently leads Tampa with 13 goals scored so far this season. Puck drop for tonight's game is set for 7 p.m. That's your look at sports. Back to Ashley and Jake.
Thanks, Kaitlyn. Finally, today's the first day out of hurricane season.
After an intense season that devastated much of Florida, residents in Key West gathered to burn hurricane flags to symbolize the end. Key West residents joined together beside the U.S. Coast Guard Gunner Ingham in celebration. Event attendees heard a blast blown on a conch shell as well as messages from speakers before the hurricane flags were set on fire. This season consisted of 14 named storms, 8 being hurricanes, one of which was Ian. Ian brought tropical storm force winds and some storm surge to parts of the Keys before making landfall on southwest Florida's mainland. Several hundred spectators applauded as the flags burned to ash.
It's so nice to see the relief from all those Floridians.
Yeah, Ashley, I went down to Fort Myers to cover the aftermath. I saw how devastating it was for myself. Hopefully everyone can look forward to better days ahead.
From one forecaster to another, Derrah, can you give us one last look at the weather?
That's right, Ashley. This evening, we're going to be cooling down. There's going to be a light breeze with partly cloudy skies overnight tonight and a patchy fog developing tomorrow morning. As you wake up, temperatures in the mid-50s and high temperatures tomorrow, upper 70s, 76 in Gainesville. Over the next couple of days, we're going to be warming up this weekend to 80 degrees on Saturday, cooling off just a bit as a cold front moves through Sunday and Monday, but we'll be seeing temperatures back into the 80s next week. Back to you.
Thanks, Derrah. BBC World News is next, and PBS NewsHour is coming up at 7.
Today's actually our last day all together at the desk. Ashley, Kaitlyn, Derrah, it's been great working with all of you.
It's been great working with you as well.
Yes. It's been a great semester, and don't worry, we will be back next semester. I loved spending Thursdays with all of you and our viewers as well. If I do say so myself, it is great to be a Florida anchor.
Oh yeah. But remember, your Florida news is always on at WUFT.org. We'll leave you with a look back at the sights and sounds of the Gator lighting. Have a good night and take care this holiday.